Hey, Peter Bush back with Kevin Mackay of Corvette Repair on Long Island. Of course, the superstar of this whole video. The whole point of this is to get Kevin's viewpoint overall. What's so special about this L88, the 69 version that is going to be closing. The auction closes actually on Friday at 2 p.m. What's remarkable, Kevin, already is that there's been over, I think, 55,000 engagements or views on Bring a Trailer regarding this car. There have been close to 400 comments at the time that we're recording this, and there's an outstanding buzz going on with this car. So back with Kevin, the man that Reggie Jackson called, oh, you know, Mr. October, called him the Mr. October of Corvettes. So that's a hell of a compliment.
I was well taken back. And he didn't tell me this, he told the gentleman that wrote the book called the Corvette Hunter book that I'm involved with. And the writer came back and he said, Kevin, he goes, I said, Tyler, you okay? He says, you can't believe the compliments that Reggie said about you. I said, what do you mean? He goes, he called you the Mr. October of Corvettes. I said, why? So we asked his permission, we were able to put that in the book. He said, well, that's the truth, because you've always been a big help to me and help a lot of people, and it's absolutely. So that was a real honor for me. So I thank you for that.
If Duncalf is the father of the Corvette, then you are his sort of son. You got it. It's almost like father to son in terms of your passion. This car is black, and it's tuxedo black. And I understand tuxedo black is the L88 to have. So let's open with a discussion on the color. Let's run through the specs, and I'll let you have at it.
Okay. Being so original, this car, which is amazing in itself, black, by far, is the most desirable color for Corvette. They made out of the approximately 38,000 cars produced that year, just over 1,000 cars were black. But you can remember now, it could have been small blocks. They could have been, you know, a 390, 400, 435, L89. But how many were actually L8s? They only made 116 of them. And between 116, they made 17 automatics, like we said before, 99 4-speeds. So if you break that down, black, as far as we know to date, there are only 5 coupes, black on black. 2 were open chamber cars, which even makes it even more desirable because it was the end of production. And anytime after 21,000, in the 21,000 VIN number, they became open chamber. And there's only 2 that I'm aware of. There are 5 coupes and 2 convertibles. That's it.
And this?
Black on black. And this one is probably the most original out of all of them. In my opinion, this is one of the holy grail of LA collecting, is this particular car here itself. So I'm really excited to be a part of this thing and be involved with this car. And I knew the last 3 or 4 owners of this car. I've been watching this car for quite a while, and I was very fortunate to spend time on the phone with the original owner, who's still around. And we'll go through the documentation, of course, later on today. But it's just an amazing car, and I'm just whoever gets this car is going to be quite blessed.
For the casual Corvette enthusiast, the L88, of course, is legendary in that we discussed before how you know, it wasn't necessarily the car that Zorro wanted to sell to the general public. It was a special car created for the automotive enthusiast racer, club racer, team racer. And, you know, there was also that deal especially in the 1960s, actually they still do it today, where the manufacturer basically grossly under reports what the actual horsepower is. The advertised horsepower in an L88 was 430 horsepower.
That's correct.
No, this is a 550 to 500 and 600?
Well, between 560 and 640 with headers.
Okay.
Okay? Open exhaust. These cars are basically built for racing. This is a race car. You couldn't get a radio with this car at the time. You couldn't get power steering with the car. You couldn't get air conditioning with the car. This car was an all-out race car that you were able to drive on the street. And most of the people that own these cars had some kind of inside connection to get one of these patent cars because they just weren't on your used car lot. you had a special order this car. This was a $1,000 option back then, think about it.
Muncie M22, the Rock Crusher, right?
M22, heavy duty brakes.
Heavy duty brakes.
Heavy duty radiator,
Wow.
heavy duty motor, which is the L88 option, 12.5 to 1 compression. It's just it's an all out race car.
Well, if there was an EPA advertised mileage, what do you think you got miles per gallon in 1969?
Well, these guys had it, I'd be lucky, 5, 6 miles a gallon.
That's fine. It's worth it. So black is desirable. L88 option is desirable. Interesting. I think the hood scoop is unique for this.
LA only, that's correct. That's correct. Absolutely. And of course, in order to drive this thing properly, you have to have at least 103 octane or better.
Right. As a matter of fact, actually, you can't see it. You'll see it in the pictures. I think it's in the pictures. There's a warning label in there saying you got to use 103. No.
That's
Octane,
correct.
correct.
Yes.
And that would be lead fuel at that time.
Oh, of course. Looking back then, you could go right through snow, go 260 pump.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that was just that's back in the day. But yeah, I mean,
Positive traction.
Posi traction. This car was basically a no-frills car, no option car, black wall tire, no side exhaust, which is a plain Jane type of car. It was all motor.
Were the tops standard? The
That was
T-tops?
standard, yeah. Either get the option, you can get a coupe version with the T-tops, or you can get a convertible, and you can get the 2 tops if you want. You can get the soft top, and if you want the optional hard top, you get that with it, or you can get the hard top without the soft top, either way.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. This is an all-original Survivor genuine article from day one.
Most of the car is original. It's got the complete original drivetrain, complete original
The
interior.
numbers matching now. Okay.
Well, it's not just numbers matching. That's the biggest misused word. I like to say born with the original motor, because you can have a motor that's been a restoration motor or a restamp motor, they call it. It could be matching numbers. Doesn't mean it's original. This is the motor that was actually born with the car. That's extremely important. And of course, the complete documentation you have just about
Here,
everything.
I mean,
It's overwhelming.
yeah, this is unbelievable. Here's the original. Gosh, look at the original sales receipt. A lot of money in 1969 for a sports car, $6,733. The L88 engine option was $1,032. And check this out, the heavy-duty suspension was $36. That seems like a relative bargain. But I mean, that's a lot of money in 1969 for an engine option.
But that was standard for L88. You had to get the M22 transmission. You had to get the J56
Right.
spokes. That was standard. You had to have the posi wheel. That was standard for an L88.
The original owner got a $1,033 discount on this car, I want to get it up. Wow, $6,733. So yeah, I mean, how about the documentation? It's outstanding.
Well, it's overwhelming actually, because most cars don't have this kind of documentation. I'm not talking about gas receipts, I'm talking about factory documentation. Having the retail form, order form, and stuff from the Department of Motor Vehicle Department, and you got your pre-delivery sheets, and the protector plate warranty book, and having a radio instruction card.
That's remarkable.
There's no radio.
Yeah.
Owner's manual. You can have your little decal that tells you what kind of gas you put in your car, 103 or even better. Okay? Headlight wash instruction sheet, rally wheel instruction card. Just overwhelming. Owner's manual envelope. Even the ignition locking system, how to work that properly, because that was the first year for that back then.
Look at this over here. Yeah.
This is amazing to me, because everyone talks about the Corvette order copy, all tank sticker. There are actually 2 of them. One was on the tank, one was in the interior of the car, which is very, very unique. They made at least 7 copies of this, and somehow this was stuffed inside the interior of the car. Of course, the book was just amazing itself from the original owner, and having all these awards just blows me away. From all the other previous owners, and having the leading experts in the country review this car and give their honest opinion how the car really was, between the NCRS Top Flight Awards. So this car is basically ready to be shown anywhere. It's been shown extensively for many years at a lot of the shows, including NCRS Flight Judging, Luton Gold Certification, triple Diamond Award.
The awards. You should see the list of awards. I mean, we have top flight awards, multiple top flight awards.
The Blue to Gold certification, Blue to Gold Survivor Award. Even got a validation sheet to confirm this car came out of that particular dealership in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. All your judging, right here, all your judging sheets, whether it be either for flight judging or for gold certification, it's just overwhelming.
So the car has been to Bloomington Gold, it's been to Carlisle Corvettes.
Yes, I've been there.
Where else?
Oh, it's been at the National Convention up in Rhode Island 1 year for the NCRS. The car has done extremely well, overwhelming reviews and compliments. All the leading experts are very, very familiar with this car. If you go on Bring a Trail, you can see the reviews. This car is known as one of the best. And knowing the car has been by invitation only at the Blue to Gold Collection is also a real high honor to have that.
With all of this, Kevin, you can't argue the authenticity of this car.
Absolutely.
You can't argue against it. You can't make a comment out there, oh, you know.
It's nice to know when you have something, you know it's something special, but getting other professional opinions really is really important. It's like you go to another doctor, get another opinion. You bring it to all these other events, and these guys putting their blessing on it. It just makes the car such a tremendous credibility on the value of this special car.
What a bloodline of provenance this car has. You know?
And every owner history is amazing to me. From the original owner who you can talk to today to all the owners of the car are still around, which is pretty incredible.
And then this.
Pretty incredible. I would recommend to anyone that's looking for an investment car. Okay, when you buy the best, you can't lose. And this car is one of the top cars out there.
And I think that in terms of its provenance, it's outstanding. But for you to say that, you have a great reputation and impeccable reputation, and you're one of the best in the business. So it's your conviction that this is outstanding, top shelf, one of the greats.
Absolutely, and you have to leave the car in this condition. It's only original once. If somebody came to me and said, Kevin, when you and your team to restore this car, I could do it. It would break my heart. The car is just, there's been some things that have been corrected over the years on the car, which is normal. You're going to find something that was done on the car, whether a little paintwork done on the car, or maybe they changed the tires at one time. I would think these are the original tires that were going in the car in 1969. So we
radial tires at the time of these period?
Period correct tires, yes. F70 15 tires, black wall. Didn't have radials until 1972, or 73, I should say. So we had to correct things in the car that needed to be corrected over the years. But for as a purist, this is one of the, if not the top one of the top 69 C3s I've ever experienced. And I've had, in 1 year I had 19 factory L88 cars in my shop back in 2018.
So, L88 engine. I think we ought to take a look at it. Why don't we, why don't we pop the hood?
Okay, let's do it.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. The sound this thing makes. So go back and watch that other video, will you? The sound of this car going through the gears. It's so uniquely big block. So 427. Kevin, tri-power?
No, single 4-barrel.
Super
Yeah.
4-barrel.
Oh yeah.
And this is unique. I've never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah, well, because that's part of the cowl induction system. See the cowl induction hood here with the screen?
Right.
This is actually the original foam that was been there since the 60s. We have a replacement foam we use, but for showing, we'd like to put that on there. But what's so really special with this car, it's still got the original AIR smart system on it. It's got the original radiator here.
Is that the pump there?
That's the pump right there. Extremely rare. Basically, the whole entry compartment basically is, I would say, probably 95% original.
Aluminum heads?
Absolutely. Open chamber heads.
What is the open chamber?
Well, they made that in production from like 21,000 and 21,000 VIN number. They came with the open chamber. They made the heads breathe a lot better, a little bit more horsepower. They were testing those heads a year before, But I know 4 lightweight LA cars came out between December of '68 and January '69 for racing at Daytona and Sebring. And it worked out real well, those cars. And from there, they put in regular production at the end of the year, which is kind of cool.
In terms of drivability, is it a peaky engine or is it just pulls hard?
It pulls hard right from the get-go.
Right, about 6,500 RPM? Or more?
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
All day?
All day long, oh yeah. These cars are really underrated for sure. Like I said, with open headers, they would go up to as much as 640 horsepower, which is pretty amazing here.
In race trim?
Yeah. Well, and with headers on, that's correct. What was also unique about the L88 here, you got they call it the blood red wires, which are these are day coded. These were changed. I remember changing these a couple of years ago because at one time or another there was a misfire, so we had to change these wires. But basically, everything in this engine compartment is all original. I mean, the radiator, the hoses, the belts.
Clearly.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Original brown distributor cap.
And it's not overdressed. I mean, that's the beauty of this.
No.
You know, this is what we mean by original survivor, genuine, genuine article. I mean,
Yeah, it's just
this is what people want to see.
yeah, these cars were just hot rodded to death, and to find one in this condition, this original, with that much documentation and owner history, it's just phenomenal. And it happens to be black on black. It's just over the top. Just over the top.
This is one valuable set of keys. Can I go for a ride?
What's also amazing about this particular car here, that truly, knowing that this car was born with the original motor, it's an open chamber car, which, as far as I know, there are only 2 black open chamber cars as of today. And this is one of them, actually. Out of the 7 cars that I'm familiar with, that's black on black, there were 5 coupes and 2 convertibles. We had 5 at our facility at Corporate Repair in Valley Stream, Long Island, New York. We had 5 of these cars there at one time, preparing for other events and shows. Out of the 5 cars, by far, this was the most correct original car, black LA car, out of the 5. Quite a few that we had at our shop were complete body of restorations. But when it comes to correctness and originality, this one is the holy grail. This is the best one when it comes to originality on the planet. But also I want to discuss with you, because I've been reading some of the reviews on Bring a Trailer. When I worked on this car and my team years ago, we looked at this car very carefully and corrected a couple of things on the car that we had to do, like change the battery and so on. But I want to just put this to rest once and for all, that the front fenders and the rear quarter panels were never, ever replaced. They were born with this car. What they did was they repaired the fender lips. That's all they did. Still got the original factory body strips in them. Like I said before, I'm going to repeat myself one more time, make it very clear. I just reviewed the car as of today. The front fenders and the rear quarter panels were born with this car. They were never replaced. Period. There might have been a repair because probably wider tires at one time, but they are the factory fenders on this car. This, to me, is the best one on the planet.
In 1969, a lot of incredible things happened. Woodstock, man went to the moon. Corvette built this car. And of 116 C3s, this build, you say is pretty unique.
Oh yeah, that's a special car.
This is something special.
It's a special car because the car has really stayed fairly original all these years. These cars were heavily raced, heavily modified, blown up, drag raced, endurance racing. I mean, these cars were just torn apart. To have a car this condition, this original, is truly remarkable.
Okay. I just want to point out a couple things on this all original interior on the 69 factory L88 Corvette. Carpets, seat covers, door panels, dash pad, gauges, mileage, steering wheel, headliner, jack. It's all there. Been there since 1969. Just an amazing car, knowing that there's no, basically very little patina on the, even on the driver's seat. The door panels that were put on yesterday. Just an amazing car, and you know, like I said before, black on black, it doesn't get better than that.
It's not the first Corvette to trade on Bring a Trailer. And some of these have brought, at other auctions, outstanding money. I mean, millions of dollars. Is that in the realm of possibility here?
Well, we had one car we were involved with, another black on black. It was a 5-star bow tie car. And that car, I believe, sold for just about $1 million.
And the market has accelerated since then.
The market is really, for some reason, 2021 is really,
Really?
Beacon did very well. He did outstanding.
Oh, Kissimmee. With Kissimmee, we had the Carol Shelby's personal cover went for, what, 4?
No, 5
5,
or 6 million.
6 million?
5.9 million.
What's going on?
And also a black on black, 67 went for 2.5 million.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of anticipation on what's going to happen at 2 p.m. on Friday. Have you come here and as an advocate for this automobile, as a lover of this automobile, and you understand everything about it. You have a lot of respect for it. It shows. And those are all important words. And the things that you've said about it clearly indicate that at this time, this is a very special event for Bring a Trailer. The action is on. It's going to get crazy on Friday. It's going to be nuts. The last hour of it, you guys know bad auctions, you know how it goes. Last hour, I mean, sometimes we sit around at work and just like watch what's going on. It's pretty intense, and it's a real show. It's something else. You just see the bidding, and there's a frenzy beyond belief at the end.
It's just an amazing hobby, and it's no matter if you're a doctor, lawyer, scientist, sanitation engineer, when it comes to cars, it's just that same line across the board, you know? And my doctor, my lawyer, most of my friends are somewhat car people. We have a lot in common. It's just a special bond to have. And having a call like this, just will always bring a crowd around it, no matter where. People know what this is, it's going to be pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Kevin Mackay, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
We'll see what happens. We hope for a great home for this car. And I'm sure you'll continue to follow its next adventure. You're indelibly tied to this automobile.
Yeah.
As you are to every one of the Corvettes that you've restored, the countless number of people that you've made very happy. Congratulations on the accolades for Corvette repair. I look forward to coming and seeing your shop sometime. I really do.
Thank you very much.
All I can say is, up till Friday, enjoy the ride. Thanks to the folks at Mechanic Shop at 1600 Veloce. By the way, that is the seller, 1600 Veloce. And good luck bidding. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.